Here with Bruce Burnett, USA Wrestling's national freestyle coach here in New York. And a big announcement for USA Wrestling yesterday. Bruce is returning as our national freestyle coach to help take us through the Rio Olympics. Bruce, talk a little bit about the decision to return to USA Wrestling as national coach and why it made sense to you at this time of your career and your life.
Well, I was approached by Rich Bender and Les Gutches, and they came out and we sat down and talked, and it's a situation where we're in the middle of a quadrennium, and anytime you get around elite athletes, you have to be excited about that opportunity. The situation for me was really simple. If my wife could get on board, if Karen could adjust to the lifestyle that we have to do and make the commitment, then we were going to do it. And we talked about it, prayed about it, and made the decision. We were in 100%.
So let's talk a little bit about the U.S. Freestyle program. In your mind, what's the state of the American Freestyle program, and what kind of potential do we have in this quadrennium?
Well, there's no question, after working with the World Cup, and I saw the talent at the camp and saw the guys compete against some of the best guys in the world, that we have the talent to get the work done. Zeke did a really good job in laying out the plan and the situations and techniques and the positions to be covered. He did a really good job with that. Now it's in the hands of the athletes. They have to get better. They have to be able to perform when they're on the world stage. And so we have a lot of work to do, but we definitely have the talent to get the work done and bring home medals.
Let's talk a little bit about things that you're going to try to do right off the bat. Are there any first orders of business that you have in your mind in regards to what you'll do as you get yourself into this new position?
The very first thing we have to do is make sure we have a schedule that is compatible to the athletes and gets them prepared for the World Championships. Still, after the World Team Trials, you don't have a lot of time to get ready. You're going to have people that will come into the training camps at different levels of fitness, different skill sets. And so the first thing I'll have to do is put together an individual plan for each of the athletes to best prepare them for the World Championships. When we get to this stage, this time of the year, it's about getting guys ready for the World Championships and on past that to the next World Championships and Olympic medals. But my focus right now is purely getting these guys prepared, putting together an individual plan for each of the guys on the world team, and putting it in place. And honestly, Gary, to be able to do that, I'm going to rely on a lot of different people. The club coaches, they're the guys, the coaches that are out there, the Rosellis, the Hensons, the Bormets, the Tom Brands, the Kel Sandersons, the Casey Cunningham, those guys are in there day to day. And I've got to be able to access them on what they think their athletes' strengths and weaknesses are and enhance on that and get them ready for the Worlds.
So do you think freestyle wrestling has changed a lot since 2000? And if so, what are things that you're going to deal with now that maybe wasn't part of the game when you were competing as a coach back during those two quads?
Well, actually, for me, this is a good time. The 6-minute match is really good for the Americans, and the 30-second break in between. But again, it still comes back to individual needs and how you best prepare each individual to be the very best they can be each time they step out on the mat. And that's the technique. You have to look at their physical skills in relationship to the techniques that they use and put together a plan that will give them the opportunity to beat anybody in the world. And so the rules, a takedown is still a takedown. Counter offense is still counter offense. We need to get back and maybe do some more turns and score off the takedown, but a takedown is still a takedown. Staying on the mat and controlling the tie-ups, that's still huge.
So let's talk a little bit about Beat the Streets this week. You're able to come out, and is this an event that you are going to enjoy? I know we didn't have this opportunity when you were coaching to do these kind of all-star deals that Mike Novogratz has put together in New York.
Mr. Novogratz and Andy Barth, those guys, Beat the Streets LA, Beat the Streets New York, they're putting wrestling back on the map. And they helped with the Olympic decision, getting wrestling back involved. And they're such a huge support for us. And so events like this are huge for the sport of wrestling and great for the fan base. And the support that we get from them is just, we can't measure it. That's what I'll tell you. Not just the financial part of it, but the exposure that we get through the things that they're doing. it's a blessing for USA Wrestling and for the sport of wrestling.
So we made the announcement yesterday. Have you got any feedback from some of your people out there within the wrestling community? Anyone reach out and say, hey, go for it, or congratulations? I was just curious how that went. I mean, some people probably hadn't considered this as an option, and Bruce is back, right?
Well, I have had a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts, and I've been blessed with the opportunity to coach little kids national champions and high school national champions and NCAA champions, junior world champions, and world and Olympic champions. And to know that you're a part of that and some of those people reach back, that's another thing, Gary. We need to get some of these guys back involved and get them into the room so they can talk about their experiences and what they did to get them over the top and win those medals.
Yeah, now you had 17 Hall of Famers that competed during your two quads, and obviously a lot of them are the coaches now. How are you going to call upon your former athletes to help our current young athletes?
Well, honestly, Gary, that's the nature of the sport. It's a giving sport. What you learn and what you take with you, you need to be able to share with others. And that's part of being involved again. These guys that have won medals on the world level, they're outliers. They were given the opportunity to use their skills and their gifts to be the very best they can be. And they need to be able to get that back into the room and transport it to some of the other athletes that want to follow in their footsteps.
So let's talk a little bit about the competition. You saw Iran, you saw Russia, you saw the top 10 teams in the world when we're at World Cup. How stiff is the competition, and what kind of improvement are we going to have to make to be able to beat these guys in Rio?
Well, here's the deal. The rest of the world's really good. We're really good. Every time you step on the mat, you have to be prepared. I watched Iran, and right now, they were the best team in the world. Now, I understand Russia didn't send over their best athletes or their #1 guys in a lot of the weight classes, but right now, Iran looks like the country to beat, and they're doing a good job of controlling the mat position and winning the position in the middle of the mat, and we have to get better at that. But we can do that. We have the athletes that can compete against them and rise above that. But make no mistakes, there's a lot of work to be done, and the rest of the world is really good, and we're going to get prepared for them.
Now, you've never been afraid of hard work. Is this something that's now exciting you? I mean, you know what it takes to get the guys ready and what it takes as a coach. And knowing now that you've taken on this challenge, is this something that's really motivating to you?
Yes, it is. It's exciting, Gary. I mean, everybody can have goals and everybody can have dreams, but to make the commitment, to make it so, that's the difference. That's the guy that has to be able to get up in the morning and get the work done versus we all want to sleep in at different times, and I was retired, and honestly, Gary, I've got to be honest with you. I didn't know I could sleep past 7 a.m., but you can. And now I'm waking up again at 5 and 6 in the morning, and I'm hitting the ground running. That's the way it is.
Well, hey, we look forward to working with you down the road, and for a new generation of wrestling people, getting to know you a little bit better. Certainly USA Wrestling's excited and proud to have you on board again, Bruce.
I think that, Gary. I thank you a lot, but make no mistakes. This is not about me. It's not about Bruce Burnett. This is about winning medals.
Outstanding. Thank you.